You've got to put yourself out there. People buy from people and they need to trust you.
Meet Sophie, an award-winning beauty educator and an ex-salon owner that now has over 22 years of experience in the industry.
Be an expert in the services that you're offering, because once you get good at your services, before you know it, the clients are coming through the door.
Her journey hasn't been smooth. She's faced doubt, setbacks. She's learned not to fear failure.
Don't be scared of failure. Some things work and some things don't, but just learn from that mistake and keep on going.
Instead of chasing every client, Sophie got clear on exactly who she wanted to serve. She did the research, built loyalty with the right people, and that is when everything shifted for her.
People are just so desperate to get the clients through the doors when they're starting that they're not attracting the right clients.
But Sophie didn't just stop at beauty. She has also built an incredible property portfolio, including her own dream home that looks like it belongs on Selling Sunset. In this inspiring podcast episode, we talk about her journey, how she built loyal clients from scratch, why she walked away from her salon.
I didn't want to run and manage the salon. I got to a stage in my life where I wanted to slightly start to come away from that.
And how property investment has become part of her incredible success story. What do you think it takes to be a successful beauty entrepreneur?
My top tip, you've got to be able to...
Sophie, welcome to the podcast.
Hello.
I'm so excited you're here. You have got so much experience in the industry. You've been in the industry for like 20 years. I follow you on Instagram, and then I just seen this incredible house one day, and I was like, I just went into a rabbit hole, and then I was like, oh, it's Sophie. And then I'm thinking like, oh, she's got this salon, she's got this experience. So I just reached out and I was like, do you want to come on the pod? And you was like, yeah, I listen to it all the time.
Yeah, love it.
Love
Absolutely love it. Thank you for having me.
No, pleasure. I'm really excited to hear your journey and your story. So let's take it right back, okay? First off, you are an award-winning beauty educator. You've got 20 years experience in the industry. You've had your own salon, team, and you recently just went shutting the salon down after 20 years. But tell me how you got into the industry, first of all, and a bit about, obviously, not 20 years, but tell me about like your journey and the milestones that you've kind of reached along the way.
Yeah, so when I finished school, I don't really think you know 100% what you want to do when you leave school.
No.
Definitely not what you want to do for the rest of your life.
When I was leaving school, my future wasn't looking great.
Yeah. So I always loved beauty, always did nails at home, makeup. So I thought, probably like most people when they finish school, I'll go to beauty college. Fast forward after 12 months, I didn't realise the intensity of the theory side. So I'm very much hands-on, practical, love that side. The anatomy and physiology, I felt like I was learning to be a doctor.
Yeah, it's quite hard that, isn't it?
Yeah, the muscles, the bones in the body, all of the lymphatic system, the drainage system. And at 16, I thought, this is not for me. I want a job and I want to earn money. So I sadly left college. I went to E.ON, the gas and utility company, started inputting meter readings. So then it wasn't the smart meters that we have today. It was manually, little script of paper, putting the readings in. Fast forward another 12 months.
Got bored of that.
I thought, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Really regretted the decision of dropping out of college. Loved beauty still. Always had the passion for it. So I found a college where I could go nighttime school education. But I had to pay because I was still in full-time education employment, and I didn't want to come away from that. So I went and did a 12-month intense ITAC National Diploma. So it was 3 nights at beauty school, 15 hours studying in my own time. And because the initial investment then was about 2 months of my wages, that's what kept me going through. And I thought, I need to see this through then.
Yeah, I paid a fortune.
I paid a fortune for it, got my qualification. I knew I never wanted to go and work for somebody. It was never on my itinerary to go on the cruise ships or go and work in a salon full time. I always knew I wanted to do something for myself and build something of my own business. So I started just doing mobile. So I was full time at E.ON, and then every evening I started building up my clients. So that started working on friends and families, my friends' mums, their mums. And then we didn't have social media. So there was no Facebook, there was no Instagram. It was all word of mouth, recommendations.
Little card in the
little
co-op.
Cards, the little leaflet drop-ins. So after about a year, I built up a real solid client base.
And what treatments was you doing? A bit of everything, kind of.
Yeah, so all the beauty, because I had the ITAC National Diploma, but then I did go and do extra courses in lashes, nails, brow lamination, so those that aren't on your standard syllabus.
Yeah.
And I found the most popular, to be honest, it was your nails, lashes and brows. You are restricted when you're mobile as well. Anyway, fast forward 10 years of doing the mobile and also at Eon. I made the decision.
You stayed for another 10 years?
So I stayed all that time.
Was you still doing the same job, or did you kind of work your way up?
So I actually worked my way up the ladder at Eon. So then I was the PA for the director of IT.
Wow.
So I enjoyed my job there as well. And I was a little bit torn. And believe it or not, back then, beauty had a little bit of a stigma to it.
100%.
It was very much like, oh, so Eon's your real job. And your beauty that you do in the evenings, that was just my hobby.
Yeah.
And that's implanted in you. So that's probably why I stayed at Eon for so long, because I felt like it's so imprinted that, you need to go and work for somebody. You have to have a 9 till 5. That's your job security. You get your pensions and your holiday and your sick pay. So I did that for 10 years. So it was graft, 70-hour weeks, but I was young though. It just worked.
And you was earning money, right?
Yeah, I was earning really good money.
Yeah. 2 jobs, basically.
Yeah, basically. Who wouldn't doing 2 jobs?
Yeah.
But then I wanted to give more of a professional touch. I wanted to stop the mobile. So I'd already, having those 2 jobs and the beauty as well allowed me to buy my first house at the age of 23.
Wow.
And then I bought my second house at the age of 27.
And kept the first one too?
Kept the first one. I always knew then that the second house I wanted somewhere where I could work from home. So I did find a house. The garage was already converted. So I set up from home, carried on offering all the beauty. And then I could expand a little bit more, because it was my own space and the professionalism and the service that you're offering. I got sick of luggaging the beauty equipment round, and I'm not joking, the amount of wax parts that spilt in the back of that car. I was like,
that is bad.
I was done. So then I had my first child, and then I was like, it is not sustainable now of working these 70-hour weeks. And that's when it came to me with education. So I went back to college then. I know now everything is fast forward and everything's condensed, but then it was a 12 months petals course.
Yeah.
So I went back to college, got my teacher's qualification. But what I find is in education, you can be good at nails or lashes, but you haven't got the skill set to teach.
Yep.
And I wanted that. So I actually went to work at a college, and I spent 4 years there being one of their contractors for education. Then I had my second child while still doing teaching, Eon and clients.
Oh my God.
And that's when I was like, this is enough now. So that's when I made the decision to get all my own courses accredited. So I got all my own training courses accredited, started running my training courses. Then we was moving home again. And that's when I thought, I'm ready now for something. I want to grow the training academy. And I felt like that was the next step then, to get the salon. Right. So quite a long journey.
Yeah, but I mean, it's full of twists and turns. And also I think, going home, you've got very low overheads. I know you have beauty, but you can increase your productivity at home because you haven't got the travel in between, have you?
Yeah.
So it made sense, like every step of the journey was making sense. So what was your vision with the salon back then?
So the salon then, I wanted to grow the training academy. And you've got to remember, when you are working from home, if it's clients, you build that relationship up with clients. From a training perspective, it's new students coming through the door all the time. And I just thought then, the children have got a little bit older, they're at school. I want to separate work and family life. So that was my vision with the salon. So I actually came across an advert where it was already a well-established salon, but they were letting out half of the building, which when I went to see the space for training, I just fell in love with it. I think don't you? When you find somewhere, you just know instantly that this is the right place for you. So I carried on still offering treatments, grew the training academy. I had a couple of girls self-employed working there as well. Fast forward a couple of years, and then the lady who owned the other part of the salon that I was technically subletting my space from, she sat me down and she said she's made the decision that she wants to come away from the salon because she had a team of girls. It's a big building, and she wants to go to work from home. I guess she got to a stage in her life. She wanted a more work-life balance. So she asked if I wanted to take over the whole salon. Many to-ing and fro-in. I don't know whether that was the path that I ever wanted to take, but also I didn't want an opportunity to pass me by. I'm very much like, take the risk and see what opportunity might come from it. So I did take over the whole salon. Then I was still doing treatments. The training academy was growing really well. But then what happened was 2 years from taking over the salon, my goals and ambitions were totally put on hold. And it was 2 years spent managing the girls, because the girls were employed, spending the time on the marketing, getting the clients through the doors. And then I sat down and I wrote out my goals and I was like, these do not align. My actions couldn't be further from where I want to be.
Wow.
I was getting to a stage where I wanted to come away from treatments, wanted to solely work on training and get my courses online. But everything I was doing,
nothing was going to let it. Yeah.
It was not. It was not. I loved the experience of it. But for me, it wasn't the right decision. I didn't want to run and manage the salon. I got to a stage in my life where I wanted to slightly start to come away from that. And my naivety, because I'd never had a salon of that size, I didn't realise the involvement and what it takes.
Yeah, it is a lot, isn't it?
lot.
I think people underestimate how much it actually takes to run a salon.
Yeah, 100%. Unless you get somebody doing that role for you and managing the salon, it is very much on you to do that. I thought, it will pretty much just run itself. Well, it doesn't.
Not when you've got employees as well.
No.
Self-employed, it's a little bit easier.
No. But I loved every journey and I loved everything. And I grew as a person in those couple of years as well. So it's all experiences.
Yeah. So let's go, before we go into like kind of where you are now and over the last kind of couple of years, let's really go into like some advice for the listeners. What do you think that it takes to become a successful, now you know what you know.
Yeah.
And you've been through all these experiences. What do you think it takes to be a successful beauty entrepreneur, as in the ones who want the salon, that want the team?
Resilience. 100%. That is up there with my top tip. You've got to be able to come across obstacles and hurdles. When things get you down, you need to be able to pick yourself back up.
Yep.
So 100% you've got to keep going. Like, not everything is going to work out. You are going to have difficult situations and challenges, and you've got to just push through that. Also, don't be scared of failure. Like, some things work and some things don't, but that's also okay. I always see it, if something fails or it doesn't work, just learn from that mistake and keep on going. And top 3, another one, I would probably say take risks. Don't be scared to take a risk, because you never know what doors may open from that one as well.
Love that. What do you think some of the unexpected challenges were for you when you opened the salon and running the salon?
I would probably say the numbers side of things. So that takes it to another level because of the amount of money that's coming in to the business.
And then going out as well.
and going out. Yeah. And I was always really honest with the employees as well. I would want them to understand that everything that comes in, that I don't back pocket that as well, to build that trust up with the team, for them to understand that. And also just breaking down exactly how much your treatments are costing and the product costs and things like that. Because for me, for training and the treatments that I was doing, you know your numbers to a T. So that was one of the challenges within the salon.
Yeah.
I would say the biggest challenge for me, though, was when I made the decision to come away from treatments.
Okay.
And having that conversation with clients.
Okay, so talk to me about that, because there's so many people out there that, you know, maybe they've got established salons and they've been doing it for some time and they've got a team and they want to step, maybe not even step fully away, but they want to step away a bit from doing treatments. And they say, if I step away, my clients won't go elsewhere. They won't go to my team members. So tell me everything.
Yeah. So with that, some of my clients had stayed loyal to me for 15 years.
Wow.
So they'd seen me from being in my 20s, seeing my children grow, seeing me then go from working from home to then have the salon and then taking over the salon. So they're with you on that journey. They are so invested in you as a person. And ultimately, they're coming to you because you're giving them a good set of nails or a good set of lashes. But they're also coming to you because they've built that relationship as a friend that they trust. When I did make the decision to come away from treatments, I'm not going to lie, it took me 2 years later to actually do it.
Yeah.
The best thing for me is I gave them all a 3 months notice. So I made sure that they had enough time. I spoke directly with them all, which I'm not joking, that was sick to my core.
Oh.
And because of how they were going to react, I would always make sure that it was towards the very last part of the treatment.
And the next client was on the way in?
Yeah, just in case it was awkward. I didn't have to go through the whole treatment with them. And I think if you're honest and you're transparent with them, they understand your reasons for it. So the majority of my clients were absolutely fine and they were supportive. But then, like you say, it's that transition to then pass them on to other team members. So because I still had the salon on the employees, it was to try to retain the clients.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I know a lot of them actually travelled to where my location was for me.
For you. So
which
you
was
knew that you was probably going to lose them.
Which I understood.
Yeah.
But most of them stayed. They passed on and worked with one of the girls that I had working for me. And I also said the transition period, I'll be there to support that. I'll be there to oversee it. I says, don't get me wrong, everybody does treatment slightly different. So if you're not happy with something, come to me and we'll overcome it. Yep. And for the ones that didn't want to travel, I passed them on to students that I've trained that are already well established in the business as well. So I think sometimes you overthink it and think it's actually going to be worse than it is.
I do. I think the same. Because that's like how you handled it, but what were your fears? Was it, what if this don't work out? What was holding you for 2 years?
Do you know what? I think I was more worried having those conversations, that difficult conversation with my clients, them turning their backs on me, they'd feeling like I'd let them down. And
worried
having to have, worrying what other people think, basically.
Yeah, or feel, Are you a bit of an empath?
Yeah. Worrying also as well, that confrontation. But again, that's all up here. And you totally create these scenarios in your head. It was difficult conversations. Some was awkward.
It's probably sad for you as well, because it was the end of an era, wasn't it?
So it was emotional.
As much as you know you want it, it doesn't make it any less sad. Like I've stopped doing when I stopped doing clients as well, it took me a while, and it was like, there was all sorts going on for me. It was like the fear of what if what I'm going to go and do doesn't work out, and then I want to come back and they don't want me again, or what if they go, there was just there's so much that comes into your brain, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's not an easy one. And I don't know how you did it, but I went from 5 days a week to 4 days a week, 4 days a week to 3. And I did less days but longer hours. So I was making no fucking difference really for quite a while. That's
exactly what I did. Yeah. So by now it was just one long day on a Thursday.
Yeah, I was doing one on a Saturday, one a month.
Like a 12-hour day. Yeah, and I was like, why am I still doing this? It absolutely broke me.
Yeah, it's horrible because you're gripping onto this safety blanket or this security when actually it's the very thing that's stopping you just going forward with what you want to do. But I think it's a human reaction. It's pretty normal, isn't it? So tell me about how you felt then once that was done. Conversations were had, 3 months notice was in. Did you feel a sense of relief, or was you a bit scared?
I did. I felt a sense of relief, and a lot of people was like, are you missing the treatments? And I was like, I'm not missing that, because I know it was well overdue, and I knew that it was the right decision, because you always find if there's something else within the business that you want to grow, sadly, when you are so involved in the treatment side, you're constantly just working in the business. You're never ever working on it. Yeah. So I knew now, and because it had already been delayed for so long, I knew it was the right decision. And even now I'm fine with it. Sometimes I'll get the odd real close friend, also, if can you just do my lashes, which I don't mind that. And I'm still heavily involved with the training element side of it anyway, with the treatments. So no, it was the right time and decision.
And you'd been doing it for so many years as well. I wasn't doing it for nowhere near as long as you, and people were like, you're going to miss it. I was like, no. I'd done that much of it when I was doing it. I did that many long days, back-to-back days, that many clients, that many hours, that I wouldn't miss it if I never picked it up again.
And people need to appreciate that on the outside looking in. That you've been there, you've done those long days, and you've built that reputation for you to move on to that
next thing. Yeah, and it weren't the end goal for me.
No, and I do think it's hard physically doing treatments when you start to get older as well. The strain it has on your body, the repetitive strain in my back.
Yeah, of course.
I was like,
this ain't for me no more, honey. This ain't for me. So before we move on to like where you are now and these decisions to close the salon and what's going on for you now, let's talk about some of your experience when you had your salon. Did you have any really positive or really negative staff experiences?
No, not really. Most of the girls were good.
Yeah.
And I would always have the conversation with the girls. Don't get me wrong, when you're working in a salon and it is very female, there's going to be times that you annoy each other, you irritate each other. But I'd always say, if it's not that important, don't let it bother you. If there's something within the salon that is going on and on and on, and it's driving you insane, address the issue before it ever gets too bad. So our environment at the salon was quite positive.
And did you find staff easy?
Yeah, so My salon manager, she came and stayed from the previous lady. There was another therapist, Michelle, who was highly qualified. She stayed and actually became one of my accredited educators as well, which was brilliant. And then 2 of the girls went off self-employed. And then I employed another 2 girls. And it was a good team.
And did you have a good relationship with your team?
Good relationship. Still in contact now.
Oh, God.
With the girls.
Some people don't have these positive experiences, and I think, I don't know, there's many reasons why that could be, but I think, you know, as a salon owner, as an employer, whether that's you've got a team of employed or self-employed, your relationship with your individual team members and then the atmosphere in the salon in general is so critical to the success of it, because if you start to... not saying you, but, you know, in general, if salon owners start to get their ego involved and like, they work for me, they're my staff, they'll build a client base and they'll fuck off and leave you like that. And that is what happens. And I'm not saying that if you've got a good relationship, people won't move on, because they do. But I think it's very important to not let, as a salon owner, your ego run the show. Like, I used to see it as I work for my team. What can I do to make their job easier? How can I make sure that everything's, you know, that they're happy, that there's, I don't know, it could be just like a nice coffee machine, or there's some snacks on the side, or on a Friday I'd buy, you know, some pizzas or whatever at the end of the night. What can I do? And I'd do competitions and prizes, because the happier they were, the longer they stay. And I've got people that have been with me for 7 years. You know, I'm not saying I didn't have a couple come and go, because you do. It's the industry. But yeah, I do think that, you know, when you've got the right team and the right relationship, it does make a massive difference.
Yeah, that's how we were. And I think had I not made that decision to close the salon, I think the girls would still have been there as well, because I was very much like that. But like you say, because you are doing all of that and creating that environment, that was my job then. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you are working for the girls.
Of course.
So everything was about their future, their progression, making sure they was happy. And that's what I did. And it was nice and it was a good experience. But that's also what made me decide, actually, I don't think this was where I was meant to be. As well.
Yeah. Sometimes you can get caught up in the flow of what should be done next, or what the next thing should be, or, you know, people online are saying it. And, you know, I've had members that come to me and they're like, I'm fully booked now, I'm renting a space, so I know I need to get a salon. Where do I start? And I'm like, well, do you need to get a salon, or do you want to get a salon? They're like, well, I'm fully booked and I'm renting a space, so that's the next step, isn't it? I'm like, only if you want, because listen, when you leave that place and you go rent a salon, you're going to lose a lot of money to start, unless you've got ambitions and genuine internal goals of having a team, getting self-employed. And because if you as a one person are going to rent a salon over a room, you're going to have your gas, your electric, your wife, and people just think sometimes they go through life thinking, this should be what I do next, I should make this step. And actually, like you say, you sat down and went, this isn't me. What am I doing?
And that's what some people are scared for. When I originally put the post on that the salon had closed and all the reasons for, the amount of salon owners who reached out to me. And it's because then they're stuck in that and they think that they have to continue like that, because the hardest thing is stepping up and saying, do you know what? This isn't for me. And I said, and that is also okay. I find that within my career, it goes in 10-year bursts. So what you want in your 20s to your 30s to your 40s, it changes. And that's okay.
It should be like that.
Where
that's one thing it should be like.
Yeah, they don't, and they will stay in their 20s all the way through. Same old, and they're not actually happy.
No, it's sad that. I really am excited to get into like what you're doing now. But before that, I just want to know what you know, you've got lots of experience building client bases, helping students, and presuming, like, you know, get the feet off the ground when it comes to building the business. What are your top tips for becoming fully booked with a solid, loyal client base?
So I would say definitely do your due diligence on your ideal client. I think now people are just so desperate to get the clients through the doors when they're starting that they're not attracting the right clients and those loyal clients. So first off, do your research on who is your ideal client and who are you targeting. Marketing. You've got to put yourself out there. You've got to make sure that you are visible. I say this to all of my students when I'm training them. People buy from people and they need to trust you. So make sure that you show up. Make sure that they know who you are, where they're coming to, where they may park, what your treatment room looks like. Because if they trust you, they're more likely to book that appointment with you as well. Starting out as well, one of the key ones is make sure that you invest in good quality training. Quality training good quality products as well, and be an expert in the services that you're offering. I always say knowledge is the key. So understand everything about that treatment. Once you've mastered that and you do a good set of nails or a good set of lashes, the clients will follow and they'll speak your praises as well. I find that I became fully booked then because once you get good at your services and you're offering them such a good treatment, those clients will tell their friends, the friends will tell their friends. Before you know it, the clients are coming through the door. But with anything, all of these things, it's being consistent. And I even find it with a lot of my students when they're reaching out, they'll do a little bit and then they jump off the wagon. And
they can't expect to, reality check. If you're going to show up with, inconsistency and all or nothing, kind of behaviour, expect inconsistent all or nothing results.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to go inconsistently and give it everything, you're going to start getting results. If you stop and give it nothing, you're going to get nothing.
Yeah.
You can't cry about it if that's what's happening. So many people do that. I think it's underestimated how difficult it is to build a solid business in any industry.
Yeah, it is.
It's not for the weak, is it?
It's definitely
It's really not for the weak.
Especially
when you're dealing with public.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a terrible client? Come on, you must have some story that stands out.
Yeah, we have had some situations, more so at the salon. I've never had one directly myself.
No, usually because people who are serial complainers or negative are usually people who don't personally go for one-to-one because they don't want the confrontation, but they go for a company or a business that's got a Google fucking review account because that's the type of people. Do you know what I'm saying there?
Yeah.
So you probably wouldn't have had that because you're quite a straight-talking person.
Yeah.
So people tend to back off, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
What's happened? Give me an example.
So with one of the girls that worked with me, she had a client in for a brow lamination. So she was an older client. She had quite coarse hairs. So with brow lamination, it relaxes and sets the hair. So perfect treatment for her. But initially, when she did the treatment, the therapist told her, no water, the key aftercares, don't start brushing or manipulating the hairs. The minute she looked in the mirror, she absolutely hated the treatment. She's there getting stuff off the therapist's trolley try to wash the brows down, to set them back down. The therapist at the time, she was quite new. She felt a little bit vulnerable. So she's ringing me on the phone and I was just like, you need to take control of the situation because what she's doing now is creating so much more damage. She's trying to reinforce this to the client, but I think by now the damage has already been done. Not a happy client, leaves. The next day, she's ringing up the salon. So I personally then deal with it. And I said, I'd like you to come in. Let me see how the brows are. By then, all the brows are, the skin underneath's red because she's scrubbed at them so much. All the hairs are completely going in different directions. So I had to be quite firm with her and just explain that aftercare was addressed to you. And had you had just left them, after your 24 hours, you could have brushed the hairs back down into place because all it's done is straighten and relax the hair. I think you would have actually been happy with the outcome. But even though she'd been advised about what to expect within those first 24 hours, I think the minute that she'd seen them in the mirror, her head had just gone. And she was just like, this is not for me. But in those situations, because of the salon owner, I took control of it. And like you say, sometimes when they're addressing it with the salon owner, I know it's a bit stereotypical, but she was actually fine. So we tried to just trim them up a little bit. I put a conditioning treatment on them and she was okay. And she actually came back for other treatments that she was happy with.
And this is the thing where, like you say, quality training and knowledge steps in.
Yeah.
Because if you had shit training, you wouldn't have had the knowledge to be able to put the conditioning treatment on, to trim them up a bit, to deal with the situation at hand. Whereas because you did know your stuff, you was able to deal with it kind of thing. It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let's talk about where you're at now then. So recently you closed your salon, didn't you? So tell me about this post that you put out there and what it said on it.
So it was just basically that I'd put out that I'd made this hard, difficult decision to come away from the salon.
Was your lease up as well, by the way, or did you?
Yeah, yeah. So the lease was up. I'd also explained that my reason was because I solely want to focus on the training side of things. I want a more work-life balance, the courses then. So I'd done the post that was going out at the same time that the online courses were also being launched. So that was a reason that also backed up that decision. And obviously from the back end of that, I got so many people that was so relatable from it. And we'd addressed everything. So we had a 3 months period. So from when I told the girls to when the salon was closing. So everything was addressed, like all the clients knew beforehand, before anything was over socials.
Okay.
So I'd made
good.
sure everything was planned. So it wasn't a shock to any of our clients. So when it went out onto social media, it was more people that maybe are students and not actual clients of ours. But like I say, it was very relatable to many salon owners.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because some people really want to do this, but they don't. And the reason I asked about the lease is because sometimes people are still in a bit of a lease and they want to get out and they don't know what to do. And it's difficult, isn't it? It depends. And this is why I always say to the members and anybody, if you're ever going to take a lease, do it in a limited company name. Do not do it in your personal name because it can really... I know somebody that wants to get out of a salon. She's not a member, she's just somebody that I know, and she's got another 4 years on a lease, but she did it in a personal name, and she's been told that if she doesn't, stay responsible for the money from the lease, it'll affect her mortgage, everything, because she can't just go bankrupt when she's got a mortgage. And it's a really tricky situation to be in, which is why I just say go limited and put it in a limited company name, because you can dissolve a company.
Or make sure you've got your break clauses. So mine, actually, I was quite fortunate that there was a year's break clause on
that's
it.
pretty good,
and I made sure that when I did take it over, because like I say, this opportunity was presented to me. I don't know if that was the path that I wanted to go down, but I thought, let's give it a go. See what it's like. Don't miss an opportunity.
So how long ago did the salon close now for us recording this? Do you or your team want to train in a new and popular beauty treatment for as little as £99? Whether it's lashes, brows or facials, adding a new service can mean more clients and more money. With Beginner Beauty Courses UK, you can train for as little as £99, all from the comfort of your own home. Get instant access to their online accredited courses and train in treatments like lash lift and tint, classic lash extensions, beginner facials, massage, Russian lash extensions, and more. You'll get full support from your tutor, private WhatsApp chats, and lifetime access to easy to follow tutorials that you can rewatch over and over again. Click on the link in the show notes and train in a brand new in-demand beauty treatment today.
April this year.
And we're now September.
Yeah.
It's not been that long.
It hasn't.
What's changed for you? What is positives and what are the negatives over the last kind of 4 to 6 months?
So the positives are I've definitely got a better work-life balance, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So I was that mum who would struggle to do drop-offs and pick-ups. I was that mum that missed sports days and swimming events, and it was always the dad that was there cheering them on. So now that is lovely because I am at all of those events. And even though, I may have missed that when they was younger, they're both at an age now where they remember. And they know that I'm present now. So that's lovely. Negatives... I don't even know if I've got a negative over the last few months.
Did you miss the girls or anything? Or you was you just so ready for this next chapter?
Yeah, I was so ready, and I talk to the girls still now, which is lovely. I'm a sucker for a voice note, so they're always getting a voice note for me and seeing how they're doing. Even from the treatment side of view, because I'm still hands-on training, I still get involved with the treatment. So it's like I've got that balance right now.
Yeah. So with the training then, how different is that now? Are you doing it a lot more? How's your online stuff going? You're doing in person still? Yeah. And what are you training? Tell us about that. Because someone might be listening to this going, I want to train with her.
So I do face-to-face courses on a Tuesday. So they run every Tuesday, and I just rent a space now in Nottingham, where I'm from. I have my online courses. So I specialise. So I've really niched it down now with the training. Even though I'm qualified in everything beauty, I just train in the specific areas of nails, lashes and brows. Perfect. And they're all of the areas that that did with my clients.
Yep.
So they're my areas of expertise. So they're also all available online. I launched as well in May my first Train the Trainer. So now I train people to become educators.
That's amazing.
So that's nice. We've just got our second 6-week programme underway. Again, that's all online, and I do a weekly Zoom with that, which is great. So that's where it's going for me with training now.
I love this. And you've really earned your space in the industry as well, Sophie, and I'm presuming you're busy with it because you're doing it weekly. I'm presuming that you've got a nice flow of students coming in, but you've gathered so much information and so much education and knowledge over the years that you'll really be serving your students by sharing that with them. And I'm presuming your students are got good success stories.
Yeah, they've done brilliant. Yeah, a lot of them have gone on to do really well, which is nice.
I love that. So what's your future? Oh, let's just touch quickly as well on property, because this was another thing that I've seen online. So you've just got this incredible house, and we're going to put it over the overlay of when I'm talking now. And I seen this like walk, I was like, what the hell? This is like something of Selling Sunset. What happened? So you say you're in property.
Yeah.
When did that start? How did that start? Who manages all that kind of stuff?
So having the 2 jobs, so working at Eon and being mobile beauty. So because it was 70-hour weeks, like you say, 2 jobs, you're bringing in good money. So I bought my first house on my own at the age of 23. Doing that also allowed me to buy my second house at the age of 27. And then with my partner that I'm still with now, we focused more on property together. So then we started investing more in single lets. From single lets, we went into HMOs, which is house shares. So multiple people in there. And I was heavily involved with that with my partner. I also manage all the behind the scenes. So I do all of the ASTs, all of the regulations, all of that I do. I think that's what came in well when I worked at Eon being a PA. So the admin side of things.
You've got that in you, haven't you?
Yeah. So it works well. Now my partner's, he's now invested more and he's leveled up. So he's now gone on to land and building apartments. I don't have involvement in that side anymore.
Let him do that bit.
Yeah, I just let him do that, help him with the paperwork a little bit. But the reason for that, as much as I loved beauty, so my initial reason with focusing on training and getting the courses online, just to have that freedom.
Yeah.
I wanted that passive income.
Of course.
But for that financial freedom, it's investment all the way through. So it's allowed us by earning good incomes to then invest it into property.
Wow. And do you think that's the way forward then?
Oh, 100%. Okay. 100%.
I'm just investing in my first HMO. That's why I ask.
Well, if you need any help or advice,
Absolutely.
I'll have to share your other page so you can have a look at that.
Yeah, so that's amazing.
Yeah.
So tell us about your house then and how this developed, because I'm going to put things on the screen and people are going to be like, whoa. Yeah. Like, how did that come about?
So we've actually had the house for 6 years. So we bought it 5 years ago. And that was also when we bought that house, I'd made the decision that I wanted to move into a salon and take things away from the home.
Yeah, to separate.
Yeah, we had a vision and we had all the plans put in place. Then COVID hit, which seems like ancient now, doesn't it? But because of that, our dreams of doing all the plans were put on hold. So with the properties, we didn't get any money coming through for rentals. Everybody got rental holidays where they didn't have to pay rent. And for my beauty, that also didn't get any money. So we kept our head above water. And then we was never really in a position then to do the build, because you have your build designed to your budget. But then after COVID, builds have gone up 3 times as well.
Shit, it did, didn't it?
Yeah, so
everything went
that
up.
Initial build was now 3 times, or maybe by the end 4 times more.
And you've not earned any money.
Exactly. Anyway, once you have your plans designed, you've got 5 years on your plans. So then it was like, this is now or never. So we did. And we started the renovation last April, and we finally moved back in this April as well. So as well as closing the salon,
starting online training courses.
Online training courses, and then moving back into our home, which is now. And that was also the decision as well. I was like, I'm constantly at the house all the time. And when the house was done, I want to enjoy it. We've put this hard work in for it just to be a place to sleep. I want to be at home and I want to enjoy that, which, I am finally enjoying it now.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I feel as well like you're kind of one of those women that like to have a couple of things going off. Like if you was just all training academy, you'd probably get bored.
Yeah.
Whereas you've got the kids, you've got, your partner, you've got the home, you've got the properties, you've got the training academy. It's like, do you like variation?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Because I'm a bit of a bugger when I start something and then I jump on and I'm like, Sophie, just finish that.
Yeah, but it's working for you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're not really like jumping in and out of something. You're jumping in, you're making it work, and then you're
seeing it finish.
going on something else. Yeah. So what's your plans then for the future, both on your property side, on your training academy side? What's new?
So the property will keep growing and growing with that.
So will you keep investing in properties,
Yeah.
renting them out? What's your preferred method?
renting them out.
So like a buy-to-let type of scheme to families.
Yeah, so even with the apartments that we're building now, they'll all be rented out. So we retain all of our properties. We don't really sell them.
No, it's like a 15-20-year plan kind of thing.
Yeah, all the taxes that incur with that. So yeah, we'll keep growing that. It was talked with my partner that we would eventually look into maybe having our own letting agents.
Yeah.
Because I manage the properties anyway, it could be a thing in the background. For my academy and training, I want to keep on growing the training. So I want to start adding some more online courses as well onto the portal. And just start mentoring my students as well, because as you'll know,
they need the help.
They need the help. They need the support. And I always say, if you don't know how to do it, invest in somebody that does.
Yeah, of
because
course.
you will fast forward that journey so much quicker.
Yeah, love this for you. It sounds amazing. Yeah. Where can people find out more about you?
So Instagram and Facebook, but I am mainly Instagram.
Yeah.
So that is my place where you'll get me. And that is beauty_by Sophie_Nottingham.
Well, we'll link it in the show notes.
It's quite a long one there.
Yeah, you've been incredible, Sophie. Aww. Thank you so much value there. So many tips. And for anybody who is like Nottingham area, I mean, I would always travel 3 or 4 hours anyway. So it doesn't even have to be Nottingham area. I'd always travel a good few hours for a good trainer. Go check Sophie out, find out about our online courses as well, because you can train online. Yeah. And I can already tell you're one of those people that puts everything in. Like it's going to be quality training. Yeah. So I'm happy for you. Well done, you.
Lovely. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure.